you're like watching something and then, oh my goodness.
I'm gonna start with a very simple question. Why did you choose the name Good Dinosaur?
Un gran dinosaurio has always been about being a good son. You know, Arlo himself wants to be so helpful to his family, but he just doesn't have everything that it takes. And so it's always been this sincere idea about him trying to make his mark into the family.
What was your biggest fear as child and while making the movie?
I think it was about fitting in for me as well, because I grew up in New York City as a Korean American and like trying to find out, you know, what the identity of what I needed to be. That was one of mine. What about you, Denise?
I was very shy when I was growing up, so I was sort of afraid of talking in front of people, and I was a little fearful. The journey of making this film was similar to our character. It was a difficult journey, but
yeah, because there was a lot of first-time stuff that were happening. Like it's the first time directing a feature, and I definitely was really nervous and scared in the beginning of it, just because I didn't have a lot of experience. And then just the folks like Denise and people at Pixar, amazing support.
Was there something that, for both of you, made you like come over this fear?
This is going to sound so silly, but it has a lot to do for me for love, the love for the characters of the movie, the love for the family at Pixar, to just keep going, to not quit on it, even though there were huge obstacles for us, just because the time limit and how big the film was going to be.
It's one of those things that you have to just keep going, you know, and that's sort of what our character ends up, you know, kind of realizing. You do have to push through your fear, and you can't almost sometimes think too much about it because it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
Have to jump.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a producer, I love that you're a woman. It's always so inspiring for me. But
Thank you.
this movie had like a lot of challenges, you know, the changes. What was for you like this big challenge? How did you manage it?
You know, well, Pete and I hadn't worked together at first, so, you know, right off the bat, we didn't know each other. But I would say after 2 weeks, Pete was a natural. So I felt immediately comfortable in that we had the right person to sort of direct the film.
Thanks, Denise.
And we had an amazing group of people that worked on the film, and we just had a great time, even though it was hard.
Well, I found that this is one of the most like explicit films, you know, like this bird eats the head of the little creature.
Yeah.
How did that idea came up, like to make it more rough?
Well, because this movie really delves into Arlo's and capabilities and his fears, it would really turn into this kind of nature testing Arlo. And how do we do that? You know, you have to sell this character so that he goes through obstacles, so that you can feel his growth, that you feel that he overcame things. And it would happen in every aspect of the movie. Like when we were first building nature, we tried it where it was very graphic and it just didn't feel like it was dangerous. And Denise took us out to go out to do a lot of research out in the natural world, and we would find things that were beautiful but also life-threatening at the same time. Yeah, and so everywhere we would turn, we would try to honor what nature really was like, and specifically with those pterodactyls, that they would become something that you would believe they can hurt Spot.
Yeah, because it really creeped me out. You know,
when comes
the head of the bug, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was so fun
great.
Because everywhere we go, there was an unpredictability to nature as well, where you're like watching something and then, oh my goodness.
I have a question from one of the users. It's why did you decide to make the human like an animal and the animal like humans?
Yeah, that was just a really early idea that was really fun at first. Like once we were talking about, you know, if dinosaurs continued to evolve and they became farmers, it immediately went to this coming of age concept of a boy and a dog story. And then as we were it kind of was evolving, that flip like really electrified everyone. And so once that, like even saying like, what if it was flipped? Everyone had ideas, and so that's when you know you had something, when all these ideas started popping up. And then when we got deeper into it, it became more than just fun. It really became finding truth into our relationships with each other, just because they don't speak a similar language. And so we really kind of started digging into what was cool about that flip.